Shading and texturing is important to nearly any 3ds Max pipeline. There are obviously many different industries and workflows that 3ds Max can be applied to, including visual effects for television and film, real-time simulation, animatics, cinematics, video game and mobile device content creation, and also architectural and product design visualization. Since 3D models can be infinite in physical design and need to serve countless functions in these various disciplines, all of the tools that define the look of these model surfaces need to likewise be extremely flexible and powerful. At the heart of this shading and texturing toolset is the 3ds Max Material Editor. In addition to the compact material editor from 3ds Max's previous releases, the 2011 version of 3ds Max adds a powerful and interactive node-based material editor known as Slate. Working with existing shaders or creating new ones from scratch becomes much more visual with Slate. Now, 3ds Max offers artists multiple material editor options depending on their user preference or project requirements at any given time. Depending on your workflow, you can choose from several different material types when working with either material editor mode. Standard shaders can be used for nearly all production requirements and offer an industry standard set of controls for attributes such as texture maps, bump maps, reflections, glossiness, and so on. The standard shader is supported by all included renderers that ship with 3ds Max, and the standard shader also easily exports to game engines and real-time platforms for things like virtual simulation. Users taking advantage of either the Mental Ray renderer or the new Quicksilver hardware renderer can choose from additional material types, including the popular Mental Ray Arch and Design shader, industry standard Meta SL shaders, or the new Autodesk Material Library. Let's take a moment to examine some of the benefits of each. The Mental Ray Arch and Design shader is an excellent catch-all starting point for the creation of real-world, physically based materials. Users can start off using the template-based dropdown or, for a more granular control, can create more complex map combinations from scratch. The Arch and Design shader has advanced options for local control over things such as reflective falloff, localized ambient occlusion, round corners that require no additional polygons at render time, and material self-illumination based on real-world photometric lighting values. Meta SL is a shading language rapidly taking hold in the world of computer graphics. One clear advantage to these Meta SL materials is that they take full advantage of the next generation hardware acceleration using the Graphics Processing Unit, or GPU. This means that they not only look beautiful when rendered, but these materials appear exactly the same directly in real time and in the viewport as you work. Similarly, the 2011 release of 3ds Max also introduces a series of over 1,200 new shaders that both speed up and simplify the process of applying photoreal materials to your scenes. Known as the Autodesk Materials, this entire library is similar to the Arch and Design shader in that they are physically and photometrically based on the real world. Using the Material Map browser, you can quickly access the Autodesk Material Library by navigating easy-to-follow categories based on the real world. In addition, these materials are compatible with both the Mental Ray renderer as well as the Quicksilver hardware-based GPU rendering engine. Workstation-class GPUs are becoming faster and faster every day, and with each release of 3ds Max, continued support for more accurate representations of lights and materials can be seen in real time directly in the viewports. Advanced features typically reserved for the rendered image can now be seen in real time. These currently include indirect illumination, reflections, ambient occlusion, and soft shadows, and there is more coming with each release of 3ds Max. A new subscription offering known as Substance combines the ease of use of categories and templates with the flexibility of procedural materials such as gradients and mathematical noise patterns. After users select from dozens of base Substance maps, they can then choose options for attributes such as texture map resolution, tiling, age, and so on. 3ds Max users can now also call upon bitmap textures created using the Render Surface Maps tool. This simple dialog allows for the creation of custom maps such as ambient occlusion, dust maps, and cavity maps. Since these textures are derived from the actual 3D model itself, maps created using the Render Surface Maps are, therefore, unique to the model and can enhance other maps by using tools such as the Composite Map type for layered effects. The 2011 release of 3ds Max also updated the texture painting system called Viewport Canvas. Artists can take advantage of layer-based texture painting directly in 3ds Max. Common paint functions such as custom brushes, gradients, smear, and clone are just a few of the painting functions accessible within Viewport Canvas. There are also image processing functions such as dodge and burn, brightness contrast, hue shift, and blurring. Artists can experiment worry-free with all of the tools in tandem because Viewport Canvas optionally allows a non-destructive, layer-based pipeline learned in most any 2D paint program, such as Adobe Photoshop. While working with Viewport Canvas in 3ds Max, users can either paint in an unwrapped 2D layout or directly on the surface of the selected 3D model. Layers created using 3ds Max's Viewport Canvas can also incorporate masking alpha channels, layer opacity, and blending modes, also known as transfer modes. Speaking of Photoshop, all of this work done in the Viewport Canvas can be saved to standard PSD documents. These can easily be round-tripped between concurrent running sessions of 3ds Max and applications such as Photoshop that can work with PSD files. Another important aspect of the 3ds Max Entertainment Creation Suite is Autodesk Mudbox. This application is primarily known for its ultra-high resolution modeling tools, but Mudbox also includes a robust painting system that can take advantage of these layered PSD files. With the addition of Mudbox to a 3ds Max Artist Toolkit, a complete, non-destructive, layer-based 3D paint system can be taken advantage of between applications without the worry of common hurdles like texture seams or misplaced paint details. If that wasn't enough, yet another way of working inside 3ds Max with layer-based materials is by using a simple yet powerful map type called the composite map. What the composite map allows is for users to quickly and easily stack up any other 3ds Max map type and combine them using any combination of layer opacity, blending modes, alpha channels, and built-in color correctors per layer. These composite layers can include procedural textures, substance maps, bitmap textures off the hard drive, and textures generated by either Viewport Canvas or the Render Surface Maps utility seen earlier. In addition to creating photorealistic renderings, 3ds Max also is capable of a wide range of non-photorealistic styles, such as cartoon rendering and technical illustration. These looks can easily define an entire scene or can be combined with photorealistic shaders for a stylized realism to suit any production requirement. Depending on the endless client and deliverable needs, 3ds Max will always be able to fulfill any look development requirements with power, flexibility, and speed.
Harmonix uses 3ds Max exclusively. That's our 3D modeling package.
We do use Max for our venues and for our characters. We also use it for our game shell. We're able to do a lot of the motion graphics stuff that you see using Max. For all our disciplines, there's a concept stage where you're either sketching down ideas or coming up with different themes for what you want to go after. And then you move into the actual production where you're building things, texturing, making them look awesome.